Good evening, everybody. Let me see who's on so far. I don't know how I go. Can I scroll down? Hiya, Pete, Tina. Hiya, Mum. Debbie. Hi, Laura. Oi, Louise. Hi, Kay. Hi, Lee. Hi, Jackie. We have a picture. We have a glass of wine. We are 1 minute from starting, so just need your paper, pencils. Hi, Nikki. Paper, pencils, red wine for Pete. We've got this. Aldi's finest Chardonnay, apparently. That's what I've been told, anyway. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Jill. Loving the wine. I'll have to put the wine on the floor. I'll end up getting all. Hi, Katie. So, let me turn this camera around and give you a scary look at me with my lockdown perm. Hi, Kate. Let me turn this around. Hiya, Ben. I'm going to have to take it out. Oh, God. Right. Hi, Dave. I hope Nicola's in the room. Where's Nicola? I'm just going to give this a wipe. Hey! Is that blurred or is that just me? Is that me? 1 minute. Hi, Mandy. How do? Hi, Claire. Cheeky glass of wine. Right, week 4 we're into. I won't go on too much. So week 4, hope everybody's well. Hope everybody's keeping well. Hi, Bev. I'll keep saying hello to people. I like to try and... Hi, Emma. Just done a cool job with Emma. If anybody wants to have a look at the mural that I've done in Warrington. Big piece of artwork that's just getting quite a lot of acclaim at the minute, which is quite cool. Always nice to hear. So yeah, tonight we're going to draw the human nose. Hi, Nicola. I'm going to try and draw the human nose. I'm going to try and not make it scientific. Yo, Andrew Nutter. You're looking hot too. Hi, Lee. So yeah, we're going to draw the human nose. And a lot of this will be shading, so a lot will be down to your pencils, quality of pencils, etc. But I will give you the basics and we'll try and draw along together. I mean, obviously you draw noses usually connected to faces. So it's usually easier when you can see a face connected. So this is, again, pretty alien to me. I'm going to draw along and you can all draw along with me. And we'll see what comes out the other end. So we'll draw a nose front on. So like this. And we'll try and draw, wait a minute, a nose like this. Try anyway. So I'm going to show you a couple, as I like to do, a couple of my noses from previous drawing expertise. Let me just turn you around. Okay, so this is Bowie. So this is hi Vicky, hi Claire. This is an acrylic painting of Bowie. So obviously his nose, much easier when it's connected to the face, but this sort of angle is pretty difficult to achieve. Let's have a look at the next one. Hi, Jackie. This is Eric. Eric, quite a big nose. We're just comparing sizes of noses at this point. And again, these are all pens. This is pencil. The other, Bowie was acrylic. This is Pablo Zabaleta before he left City. So, again, another nose. Lots of detail in that one. Tony Wilson, this was done in pencil and chalk. Let me see if I can get it out. So this is pencil and chalk. So again, a nose from a different angle. And again, that's pencil. Bowie, I think we saw last week. So a little bit of Bowie. See, I'm not a big fan of drawing noses, to be honest. That's why I do lots of eyes. Hi, Nikki. And then this guy, who I'm painting at the minute, very fortunate to be painting. He's got a huge nose, but his nose is a well-worn-in nose, I'd like to say. But that's Ollie Ollerton, who's off SAS Who Dares Wins. So I've got the pleasure at the minute of painting that guy. So, it's pretty amazing, actually, to be painting him and to be able to create a piece of artwork for him. So, work our way all the way back to the start. This is my NHS postcard, just as a little aside. So that's what you get, a signed one of them when you buy one of my T-shirts. Not doing any marketing. This is my fancy glass of wine. This is my bottle. Look at that. It's not even grown. Just getting a beard. So anyway, hi Vicky, hi Kate, hi Bev, hi Nikki. Right, let's make a start and let's see where we get to. So I'll put you back in here. We're going to try and draw what's on the screen right now. So these are ones that I've put together with a bit more time. And we're going to try and see if we can sort of talk our way through it. We'll do a methodical way first. So like we did the breakdown of other areas of the body, the eyes and the mouth. So a very sort of linear way, which is not really how you would do it. Hi Pete. So it's not really how you would go about doing it. But, you know, some people like to work methodically and with straight lines and almost geometry. I hated CDT at school because I want to be ahead of everybody else drawing. I want to be doing it quick. So we'll start with, I'm using currently, where is it? A 2H. So you can probably get away with a HB, just something light really. Something for sketching that you're happy with sketching. If you're fortunate enough to have more pencils, we will be moving on to like 5B. You can tell the ones I use the most because they're like really tiny. 6B. So what we're going to do very quickly and very simply, hopefully, if there's any problems with viewing, let me know. But I've actually moved to the back of the living room, which is really annoying until I sort my Wi-Fi out. So what we're going to do, noses generally. Hopefully you can see that. I'm going to do one that's a little bit crude and geometric for starters, just so we get an idea. Hi Joe, thanks for sharing. Hi Nat. So straight line down the middle of the page, nice and easy. And then the head of the nose. This is just going to give you the basics of how to do one. So the head of the nose, we're going to put, I probably should have done the circle first. Let's do a circle. You might have been better doing a circle first. So again, like I say, we are learning together because this is not how I would draw a nose, but it does give you the idea of how to draw a nose and the actual, you know, your whole body is made up of geometry and shapes. Again, like we have done with the eyes, find the center line visually that you can see. And we're going to go straight across. Okay, and out to the sides there. And there we have it. We've got a little nose. It's almost like target practice. Hi Karen. Hi Joanne. So we've got the head of the nose. We've got the line of the middle of the nose. And the thing is with noses, there's not many straight lines. It's all curved. It's also, a lot of it is shading. I mean, to be honest, the majority of it is shading. Hi Joseph. Hi Marie. Thank you, Marie. So what we're going to do, let's just pick somewhere this side. Let's go there. So we'll have a line there, and then that distance, just have a little visual. You want to try and get somewhere-ish on this side as well. And like I say, this is the geometric way of doing a nose. There are loads of different ways of doing it. And then from the bottom of the curve to this point here, hope that's nice and simple, just a soft curve. Okay, and then again, not easy because I've got to go around the camera. Tried to move the camera to the other side. Tried to move the camera to that side because my mum complained last week that I was covering my drawing up with my hand. You know, as mums do. Okay, so we've got that bit. And then what we're going to do, we're going to come in. We're going to come in here. I'm going to come in here. And then if you go like this, I mean, you will never draw a nose like this again. It's like taking a driving test. I'm just showing you the geometry of that you might not see. And then maybe just curve it at the top. And it does look slightly phallic, but we can cope with that. We'll go with that. So that is the basic shape if you were to break it down into some sort of geometry into your nose shape. And then from here, if I get a heavier pencil, and again, like I say, leave your mum alone. Mum's no best. Sorry, Jenny. Got done off a teacher. And I can see her smiling, and she'll just have a glass of wine in her hand, and she won't be doing any drawing. If you're drawing, Jenny, I want to see it after this. So a heavier pencil underneath. And then we're going to just curve up, and that's where your nostril's going to be. And then we'll do the same, a bit more difficult this side. Yeah? Does that sound about right? Okay. And then this, just make more rounded. That's all you're doing. You're just going off your basic shapes, your initial basic shapes. Hi Mary, hi Paul, hi Glenda. So you've created your basic shapes, and there's not really a lot else you can do at this point, to be honest. If I just, for instance, if I shade that, I might be wobbling the camera a bit, but there you go. If I shade that a bit, and then start to add shading in, so just very roughly. So if everybody sort of roughly gets in here with your sort of different shapes, you will start to build up. Hi Kath, hi Stuart. Hello Michelle. The wife's watching, so I need to curb the conversation now. And then, if, for instance, all this was disappeared and you're just left with your basics, you've got then, I mean, I'm going to do this quickly and rough, so because we will do another one. So ignore the quality of this, but I'm trying to show you that this is a really light pencil. So if you was doing it for real, with a load more time, you know, you will start to get a shape of a nose, and your nose then goes into blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that is just showing you the basics, and then it just gives you a shape to work with. Hi Heather, I'm just having a little drink of wine. What are you drawing? Should this be done after the watershed? Possibly. Depends what sort of mind you've got. So that's the basic things. Start with a circle, line through it. It's not difficult. It's not very easy, this. Line through it there. We'll go up, curve, yeah. So we know where the center line is. Okay. And then you've got your things there, and then you just start developing it and experimenting with shapes. But like I say, this is like a driving test. This is quite a narrow nose. It's like a driving test. You'll never do it this way again, because you will hopefully have something to copy off. And then ideally, when you get, let me see what I've got here, you know, once you start to add the shading and get a lot better at the shading, again, like I say, this is quick, just to give you an idea. It gives you the starting point. This is better than watching the body coach. Hi Joe, I'm on. Hi Donna. So it's not better than watching a body coach. You pause him. You never pause me. So this is the basics. So that is the geometric version. So what we're going to try and do now is do a nicer version of that with maybe a little bit more time on it. Let me just have a look. Try and stick my paper together. And it's difficult because unless you're sort of drawing it in conjunction with a face, you won't probably draw a nose like this again. But I'm going to try and recreate what I drew this morning. Let me just have a little glass of wine. Okay. So you can follow me. We'll do one from the side at this point. Or if there's two of you in the room, like Dave and Nicola, you can try and draw each other, which should be quite interesting. So this time we're going to do a little bit, and I'm going to be less methodical about this and draw it more how I would probably draw it. You know, a bit more. I mean, when you're doing artwork, hiya Paul, you know, you sort of trust your instinct of what it should look like. So I'm doing something now that will look hopefully a little bit more like a nose. And a bit like, you know, so very faint, not too much pressure. The kids are doing it, get in. So I hope you're all drawing it each other, Dave. So yeah, nose from the side. So you're trying to draw a nose from the side. So there were no right and wrong ways. People's noses are all different. Some have big noses, some have little noses, some have quirky little pink noses, etc. All I'm doing here is showing you some of the shading, and we'll see where we get to and see what comes out the other end. And the thing is, you can just say, oh, of course it looks like it. Of course it looks like it's meant to look like. Just make it up as you go along. And the thing is, I mean, I've got doing more painting at the minute. Like I say, I'm doing Ollie from SAS, which is very therapeutic, and also is getting very, I think I'm spending far too much time on it, to be honest, but I am enjoying doing it. I'm just using office paper, Pete. I'm not using anything expensive or, you know, this is just copying paper, nothing exciting. Pencils are probably for 12, they're about 10, 12 quid. So, you know, if you're setting out doing art, it's not really an expensive thing to get into. Just do it with pens or anything that's knocking about. And think about it, don't let anybody tell you that it's rubbish. Do whatever you want. See, I've done that now from the side. I've just drawn it while everybody's sat there. And for me, it's not right. So again, like you, I will just carry on, and you keep adapting your drawing until it looks better. So I'm going to shade this in a bit. Obviously, I'm going to bring a bit of depth to it. And then we build up. I mean, a lot of this will depend on what pencils you've got. I'm using a 5B here. I mean, I don't know if Pete's still on here, Pete Finnegan. Hopefully he is. And he's a beautiful artist. Absolutely beautiful artist. And it's lovely that, you know, people who I've watched, studied, seen their artwork over time and enjoyed looking at their artwork. It's good that, you know, I can now converse with them, and it's nice that they can sort of see and respect some of the stuff that I do. So a lot of this is now, you know, you've got a very basic, everybody can do a line like that that looks like something. And then all the rest is about shading. How important having 10 or 12 pencils of building up your shading. This is a round bulbous bit. Hi Wendy. Hi Juston. Is that my French name? My weekend name? So I hope everybody's keeping well. I hope everybody's getting on with it and staying safe, staying at home business. Seems to me that a few more people are creeping out into the streets at the minute, but you know, I suppose at some stage the lockdown will be lifted in some way. I don't know how. It feels a bit weird at the minute. Feels a bit like Big Brother. So we're going to have lots of shading under here. So again, when you've finished, I want everybody to be sharing their artwork. Let's have a look at everybody's. Let's see how people are progressing. Got a cool one the other day, when the one that I shared last week, that somebody had waited all the way to weekend and then spent time with their daughter doing it. And it's just nice. It's just a nice thing. I mean, you can do it with your kids, do it with your partner, and just do it on your own. It's art is a very therapeutic thing. So what we're doing, we're shading. We're doing lots of shading. I've not even changed pencil yet, which I should be doing. But I'm just trying to give you an idea. And yes, it won't be perfect. And yes, there might be people out there who might do better than me. That's fine. I don't really mind. I just want to be able to get people drawing, be able to inspire people to draw, And I've had messages this week as well, which is again really cool, about I've not drawn for like 15 years or something, and I watched one of your things, whichever one it might be, and you really inspired me to have a go at it again. And now suddenly I've got competition. That's the worry. So I'm hoping after all this, Nutter's going to invite me, if he's still on here, and invite me over for dinner, and he can teach me how to cook. Yeah, and oh, thank you, Pete. I'm glad you're still watching, actually. Yeah, have a look up at some of Pete's work. It's absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's much more delicate than I create with a pencil. I think I have a certain style. I think every artist, has a certain style, and I think, as always, I'm not precious about it. I like to share with what I do. I know Dave, he will teach me more than that. That's why I think he's gone quiet. So I'm trying to recreate the one that I drew earlier, which is a bit more difficult when you've got a crowd. But hopefully it's giving you an idea of how to go about some sort of shading. And then we'll maybe do it from another angle. Let's see how long it takes first. And obviously we can rub out after. What I like to do is add quite a lot of graphite, build it up. I'm just using the lighter tones and the darker tones. Yeah, I apologise if the camera's shaking. I'm on a table. I don't usually have it on a table. So we'll have a bit there, and it's trying to get a flat piece of paper and making the art of. He's trying to get the flat piece of paper and turn it into something. Hi, Rosie. Hi, Vivian. Hi, John. And trying to turn it into something. You try to make a flat piece of paper 3D, basically. And that's not, that takes a lot of time, a lot of working, a lot of studying of shapes, really. But don't let anybody tell you that your artwork's not good or it's not right. If you've enjoyed drawing for an hour and you've had an hour of therapy of just letting yourself go and having a bit of a giggle, having a sketch, we've been at it probably 20 minutes now, and nobody's thought about the coronavirus. So if it's good for your well-being, draw, enjoy it. And that is the thing. If we come out of this and I've inspired a few people to draw and actually do something a little bit different, whether it be drawing or something else. Love the nose. Thank you, Rosie. How's he getting on with his treehouse, his kids' play area? How's Jay getting on, Rosie? So, again, I'm barely touching the paper, and I'm still using one pencil. And I'll bring back some of the shading, and I have got my putty rubber at the ready. Yeah, I'm having that bit there. I'm going a bit darker in here as well. So yeah, I've been doing a mural for Warrington, for Birchwood High School, which has gone a bit crazy, actually, since it's finally been unveiled. It's not been printed and gone up anywhere yet, but yeah, it's great. If you have a look at my timeline today, I think I shared it, or I've done something. And then, yeah, I've done a big mural that's going up in a big school in Warrington, featuring the history of Warrington. So yeah, nobody can say my artwork isn't diverse. So hopefully everybody's getting a bit of something like what I'm doing here. I'm going to have a little swig of my wine in a minute. And if nothing else, if you can get some of these soft pencils, like I say, this is 5B. And it gives you the ability then, just change the angle of the pencil. Let's have a bit more darkness underneath. And into there. This is one thing that I've always done. And one thing that does stand you in good stead is, yes, I do lots of doodles. Yes, I do lots of other weird stuff, painting and such like. But copying, don't be too precious to trace. Trace the outline of a picture, because you can trace the outline. It'll save you a lot of work after. I'm watching while eating my tea. That's not worry. You can do it later. I'm going to share it later anyway. So, what we want to get rid of with the shading is we want to get rid of any semblance of a line. Really, you can probably get away with this one at the back here. I'm just gonna try and do this with one pencil and see how we go. It's not too bad at the minute. So I'm hoping everybody's getting a bit of an idea. Hopefully, is everybody enjoying it? What we're trying to do is each week is do a body part. I think Nutter will be back for certain areas. I think anybody who I don't think he's still on here must be doing his tea. He's trying. We'll go through the body parts. We've done eyes. We've done lips. This week, nose. We've done sort of a study of how to build up a head, you know, in the shapes. But this is, people were craving being able to do some shading. This gives you the total freedom to shade. Right, I'm changing pencil to, let's have a look, to a 2H, hopefully. It's a little bit thin. See, the difference in how that's drawing is, until you sort of get used to the feel of it. When you've been using a soft pencil, the way you rub it across the page is very different to the way you do it with a very fine. And you can hear the difference in the noise as well, because the lead in this is rock solid. Whereas in a soft pencil, you're rubbing it and rubbing it. I'm just thinking now, you have these TV shows like the Bake Off that have all this innuendo. I think I could probably win an award for that. So hands, Dave. Yeah, hands. You're trying to set me a task that's really difficult, aren't you? There you go. I got my pencils in the range. Pack of 8, charcoal, rubber, sharpener, etc. Less than a tenner. So yeah, I am going to do a front-on version of this as well. So we will hopefully have enough time to do that. I just want to show you what difference adding shading to something. Well, we've not done lots of shading. We did a lot on the eyes, I suppose. Yeah, starting to get some shape about it now. I'm gonna just fill that in, because see the difference between that being really open and really white gives it a bigger shape. And the more you fill it in, yeah, the front of the nose there generally would have that little extra curve. And I'm just gonna finger shade. Again, apologies to the vicar, etc. And my mum's listening. This is a 4H pencil. Again, just a bit. Just try and take some of the edge off. Right, and now I'm going to shade it. Right. It's funny, when you sit back from it, you can automatically see what's wrong with it. Another thing that I do, which if you are drawing or copying, one thing that I would recommend to do is take a photo of it with your phone. So take a photo with your phone, have a look at it on your phone. And then you can sometimes see, I see stuff, I've been drawing it for half a day. And I'll put it on my phone, I'll get in bed, and I'll have a quick nosy at it, and I'll be like, oh God. You can sort of see what's wrong with it. When you've been staring at it for a long period of time, sometimes easier to see what's wrong with it when you look at it with a different set of eyes, and that might be through a phone lens. So this is just lots of lines. I'm going to go right down the bridge of it with a real dark edge. That bit we want dark. I'm just going to do that. And again, it is a quick version. We can spend a lot of time doing it, but it gives you an idea of what you can get to with a pencil, basically. And I'm going to get rid of all this because we don't have... And if it rubs out too much, you just put it back in again. So we won't have all this here. We don't want really strong lines down the bridge of the nose. You know, and the more you take away, look, it starts to give it that little bit of extra, oomph. And now I'm going to take away some of the graphite in these areas and just watch the difference in what it does to the shape. So I'm adding, literally taking everything away there. And then again, with the putty rubber like I showed you, you can flatten it. So you end up with literally nothing. And then you can drag the graphite off. And it gives you a little bit extra lift in certain areas. A little bit extra lift, a little bit of highlight. And obviously this bit sticks out, so that will have a highlight on it as well. Again, barely touching it, and I'm taking off the top surface. And obviously it's a bit brighter at that end. So it's starting to get a bit of shape about it and a bit of, you know, bit of life about it. I'm getting rid of everything I don't like. So that gives you very soft looking, hopefully. And then you can sort of go on to the rest of the face by adding in, you know, all this extra stuff. But it gives you a bit of an idea of what a nose should look like. And that's starting with one simple curve profile. So you've got your profile, you've got this bulbous bit here, and then you've obviously got your nostril. Your nostril might be small, it might be large. And that gives you a good idea of a basic nose. So we're going to try and draw that from front view as well. So I'll shift that one out of the way. So hopefully everybody's doing all right with that. Okay, give you a bit more of a... Yeah. Very simple, very basic, and that's all down to shading. I need to have some wine. Because I'm talking too much. One sec. Now, front on is a different story. This is a hell of a lot of shading. So this will test all your shading out. And you can smudge it, you can rub it, you can do whatever you want. Use cotton wool, I use all sorts of stuff. Sorry I'm late, Gav's late, detention. So again, we'll try and draw it front on. It's not so easy because I'm not on a flat page. So just get a vague idea, a very light stroke, straight line. And that gives you like, you know, I've got a straight nose, hopefully. Choose a pencil that we can see, because I don't know if you can see that very well. Okay. And again, I'll have to rub some of this out later, but I want to make sure that everybody can see. So the bottom curve of the nose is going to pass right through that. Yeah, so if I show you, yeah, so that would have continued right down. Hey, Jono, all right, mate? Hi, Frida. Hi, Debs. Okay, so I digress. We're going to do a soft curve nostril. And once we've got that, that side, we've got to try and recreate that on this side, because generally noses are symmetrical. So I'll give you a couple of tips on measuring if you want to go down that route. Hi, Tommy. When you see people holding a pencil out and all that, it's all measuring. I don't do any of that. The easiest way is get the point of the pencil and use your finger So from the center line, if you want to be really accurate, from the center line, I could be here to the center line there, move your finger in, that's where the nostril ends. So that measurement from, if this is making sense, from the point of my pencil to my finger gets you the width. So you can do it like that and then just plot a point, yeah? And then from there, you know that that is right width-wise. Going across there, you could always do a straight line if you want. Yeah. If you want to get it absolutely perfect, I mean, don't worry about it on this occasion. Just do what you think you are happy with. I'm just going to do what I'm happy with. And we'll see what comes out the other end. I'm just doing it visually. So what you can do as well is what I tend to do, and I think I've said before, is just squint a lot. I spend a lot of time drawing and squinting. It's probably why my eyesight's bobbins. But you'll find squinting, so take a sit back from your page. I know everybody's doing it right now. Squint at the paper and you'll get more of an idea of if it's correct or not. So nostrils going in. This might end up with a massive nose. I could have done with doing a smaller one than this for shading wise, but yeah. So we'll just go there and we'll try and recreate that over here. So you know that there. So somewhere in there is where that is. So if you can do lots of lines, again, come down. So just inside that nostril. So that means that would be just inside that nostril, and then you can then just soft curve it up. Does that make sense? And if it's wrong, you've got a pencil, you've got a rubber. I don't think that's right, so I'm going to rub it out. Okay. And we're going to bring it in a little bit more. And if you can get to that, hi Catherine, hi Joanne. If we can get to that stage, we'll do the very obvious dark shading, which is going to be in the nostril. So we'll go in here with a really dark one. And I am speeding things up. I am trying to leave you to draw how you wish and how you feel. Don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. Just take some of the premise of it. You know, I could spend 12 hours, 10, even a full day's work generally, just doing eyes and a nose or whatever. I've probably done this way too big, but there it is. Okay. We've still got the centre line, so a lot of the shading will revolve around that. And another thing that I don't like about this nose is, you know, don't be afraid to rub stuff out. If you're not happy with it, I'm not happy with it. I'm going to bring it a tad lower. I'm going to curve it in. And I'm just going to go a bit more pronounced. And then, trying to do this round a camera is not the easiest. Hi, Joanna. Hi, Joanne. Trying to do this round a camera is not easy. But I'm going to try and see how much I can do with this 5B pencil again. So this would all be shaded under here. Get me. Take the edge off the pencil. It's always wise when you're doing pencil drawing. If you get the wrong edge of the pencil, which might sound really boring, but you can get a really sharp edge, have a scrap. So you're drawing. As long as your pencil doesn't leave your hand, you're drawing on that plane. So I now know what sort of stroke is coming out of my pencil. Look, and there it is. So that's another cheeky little tip you can have for free. So if you're drawing with a pencil or a set of pencils, have a scrap piece of paper and just practice how the line is going to appear on your page. And we'll try and build up this nose. If it looks a bit weird, it looks a bit weird. Okay, so another bit I'm not happy with is that. And then If I'm not happy with it there, I'm certainly not happy with it there. Okay, so now I've lost the trajectory of my pencil. So we'll get that back again. Okay, so shading, we need to try and replicate, because obviously lots of symmetry in the nose. I'm going to try and speed it up because I've drawn a massive nose there, which is going to take a bit of shading. So you do what you feel at this point. Try and shade in the sort of areas that you can either see in front of you with your kids or family or other half. And what I would suggest, like I said, get some pictures of people. Get some front-on pictures of anybody. It could be somebody famous, somebody you like, somebody in your family, or even just a photo on your phone. And just start practicing. It's the only way to get better. I've been drawing for a silly amount of years now. And yeah, I get better at it. Some days I surprise myself and I'm like, wow. And then other days I'm like, oh, I can't do this today. The thing with creative artwork is some days you're just not in the mood for it. Some days you can, for me, I can go in my studio where I'm drawing and I'm just not in the mood for it, and I create something and I'm almost forcing artwork and it just doesn't happen. So, and other days I can just get totally in the zone and create something that even I like. I look at and I go, what the hell? Where's that come from? So all this is going to be totally shaded eventually, but it's in different levels of shading. So barely hanging on. Okay, so this side is getting a little bit more shaded, looks a bit better. And then over here, we will do the similar sort of thing. And again, I'm doing it quickly. I've got it on a really soft looking thing. Try and speed it up. We will get there. We will make it look like a nose, I promise. It's another thing with portraits as well, though. I can do a portrait, be absolutely like convinced it's rubbish. Get to the end, add something dramatic towards the end, and you end up with something that suddenly pops out at you. Right, I'm going to do this in a soft curve around here to sort of give that area of the nose a bit more oomph, you know. And this is basic shapes. Hi, Colin. Because you're a Gemini. I am a Gemini. I'm going to go really heavy down here. And I'm going to leave this, done this before, leave the light at the bottom. I will shade it in a bit, but it gives a bit more of a curved look. But you can see how fat the brush strokes are, the pencil strokes are using this pencil. Yeah, so it's starting to get there, starting to get at least a bit of shape. I'm dying to see what everybody else creates. Noses are difficult because they do look a bit weird when they've just not got a face attached to them. But a lot of this is down to, it will start popping. I've got Kermit's nose. Hi Jane, hi Colin. I'm trying to say hello to everybody and keep having my little nosy at my phone just to make sure people are still awake. I'm going to do more shading on this side, I think. Okay. Starting to get a little bit of a curve over it. And that's it. It's just building it up bit by bit. And you will eventually end up with a nose, I think. But as I said earlier, you'll never draw a nose like this. Very rare. It'll be more in relation to what you're actually drawing. So drawing something in isolation, it can look a little bit odd. But hopefully I will try and pull this back from the depths. I'm dying for a drink. Let me get my drink. Hi Jane. Right, so I'm going to try and promote that shape into there. So we do actually have, by the end of it, something that looks... And that bit that I've left in, I will go over very slightly because I can bring it back with a putty rubber just to take the highlight off it a bit. Doesn't need to be that highlighted, and you can't have any straight lines, so we need to try and get that curved because straight lines will never do. And then I'm going to really exaggerate all this. Coming on. Obviously this takes us back to where we were at the start. So this is your circle that we started with. So if you was to do it from scratch, you'd have this as a circle. Apologise for the squeakiness. I'm on a leather chair and I keep moving. Trying to see it from different angles and get around the camera. Right, I'm going to try and introduce this circular area, and then we can always shade it out and shade it back in again. But hopefully everybody's enjoying these, getting something out of it. You get an hour, you can have a little drink, you can listen to me going on with myself. I can show you a few pictures every week. And hopefully everybody's keeping safe and we can keep doing it. And then at the end of it, like I say, if anybody's up for it, we'll go and have a beer. Got some more exciting news this week coming up. I'm doing I won't go on about it too much because I want to we're making a proper announcement about it, but I'm doing a huge charity doing some artwork for a huge charity that is a very special over a long period of time. So that will be unveiled, I think, on Friday. So it's a real big thing for me to be involved in, but it's somewhat very cool. So we're starting to get a bit of an end of a nose, I think. Slightly, slowly. And then a lot of this now will be, I'm going to try and speed. See what I mean? That's it. Get your pencil the wrong way around. And you end up with big sharp lines like that. Okay, so we want to leave the centre line because we'll leave that nice and light. And I'm just going to speed things up a bit so we're not all bored, because I know we're all doing stuff at our own pace. And I'm just going to continue up a little bit. This is why I shouldn't have done such a big nose. But any ideas for next week? We've had a suggestion of draw hands. See, drawing hands is hard, but I don't mind having a go, and I don't mind if everybody has a go at it. I don't mind having a go with everybody else. I just don't draw that many hands, but I'm sure we can. So all I'm doing, there's the centre line, and that's all I'm doing is shading diagonally, because that's just my natural way. So by the end of this, we hopefully will have a 3D object. A little bit more wine. So yeah, ear. We could do an ear. Jenny, do you want to do an ear? Hi, Ali. Hair. Hair's good. Hair's a good one, but hair's difficult because hair's in relation to, usually in relation to a head. So it's not the easiest thing to do in isolation. Well, say isolation, not in as in lockdown. I mean isolation as in on a piece of paper. So we're starting to get some shape. We could do ears next week. Ears are quite interesting. You know, this is where, with more time, I'm trying to speed it up now a little. With more time, you can spend a lot of time now just working on the shading. To get absolutely perfect. So it should be starting to look a bit more like something now. And this is the critical part, is this has to be curved. You've obviously got this area here. We're building up, because that then gives you the nostril shapes. I'm going to fade that out because we'll bring that back in again. Fade that out, we'll bring that back in again. And then that barely touching the paper, because we don't want white paper. We're just washing that over. And you can get rid of the centre line still in there, which is, you know, you don't need that centre line. That's just your guidance. But as you start to build up now, you should be able to define. See, I think this bit here is a bit low. But, you know, that is what drawing's about. You do stuff. And if you like it, sometimes you like it, sometimes you don't like it. So that was the circle of the nose. So we're going to do that. Pick that up. Okay, down both sides. Got these bits. This is just softening everything that I've done so far. And you start to suddenly get, and this is no pencil work whatsoever, you start to get a shape. Heads up, pal, Nicholas looks like an elephant trunk. Hi Diane, hi Rachel. So the thing that is, I can clearly see that's wrong with this, but I've probably gone a bit, is there's a little bit too much darkness going on. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to remove some of the graphite, because right down the bridge of your nose, you generally would have a little bit of light down here, because that's sort of the centre. And this is where you can remove some of this graphite and bring in, it gives a bit more depth to it. We'll have a real strong highlight on this side, and then we'll go for a real strong highlight on this side. And here, down to here, we'll be starting to, so it's sort of the ravine that takes you up into there. Hopefully it's starting to make a bit more sense. And again, over here, see, it's about adding, taking away, seeing what's right. Are you happy with it? Trying to not draw over the... Get rid of that anyway, because that's just throwing it off a bit. Yeah, so we're starting to get a bit of shape. One thing that is wrong with it is the highlight here is too high from what I can see. So I'm going to bring that down so it's coming down the nose, because it's a face on. So we'll do a bit of that, see what that looks like. We'll add a bit of softness to it. So that's just moved it down a bit. We don't need all that shading in there. So hopefully everybody's getting something out of it. You've got a nose and you're starting to build up. Got quite big nostrils, this fella. I'm going to get rid of that as well. But you see, he's starting to get something now that is starting to look. And this is the advantage of a putty rubber, is you don't have to rub it out. I can lift that black off. See there? And then all this darkness around here, I can soften that up. And then if there's anything you want to define at this point, just going to go really close. There. Doing something I don't usually do, which is going against the shading. So we are getting this rounded shape is the important thing. These are rounded, and then ignore that bit. We've gone a bit long on the nose. We're going for the trunk effect. Louise is showing off. She's got a putty rubber as well. But hopefully this is giving you a decent idea of how to draw sort of the next bit of the face. We will, I think, what we'll do at whether we do a last class or we just carry on and do different things every week, I shall get people's emails. I'll send you a picture across and we'll all try and draw it together. That might be quite a cool thing to do. So I can all see the process, because we'll all do different effects. See, that's right, but look, that's too wrong there. So I'm going to get rid of that there. Ooh. Drops me putter. Hi, Hayley. So that gives you a bit of an idea of how to get the basics in. Hopefully that's been useful. Trying to just get rid of that now. I'll tidy that up once the camera's off, just to get a bit more of an edge. So we've got a bit more definition. Yeah. So hopefully everybody's enjoyed that. I've had quite a lot watching tonight, which is really good, and I will share the video. I want to see what everybody's done afterwards, please. That would be really lovely. Let's try and share our findings of what we've ended up with, and let people know about the class. Let's try and get more here next week again, and then just keep practicing. And if you've enjoyed it, tell people. If you haven't, get them to watch Joe Wicks instead. So, there we go. Bit of a nose. I'm going to take it off here. Oof. Jesus. Where's that one? Where's my other one gone? Oh well. Nose 1, nose 2. There we go. So we've got that one's a little bit more finesse about it. And then this one's a bit more straight on. And a bit more strength about it. Look at this. Look at, once I do it, I can't. I'm so OCD. So hopefully everybody's enjoyed it. Like I say, share the love. I'm a bit hot and sweaty now. I'm a bit hot. Where's my drink? So it's not easy talking for that long of time. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Come back next week. Tuesday we'll do ears or maybe hands. Might leave hands for a couple of weeks down the road. Maybe ears, and maybe people with glasses on. But hope you've enjoyed it. Stay safe for another week. cheers to everybody. Look after yourselves and keep doing what you're doing, because it seems that we are actually making a difference with what we're doing. And hopefully we can all start getting out again at some stage soon. All right, lots of love, and I will see you all next week. Take care. Thank you.